Welcome back to Books Central Inside the Pages. I'm your host, Abbie, and in today's episode, we have something extraordinary for all the history buffs out there. Joining us today is Fred Smith, the author of the latest novel Waterloo, which takes us deep inside the pages of history as it explores the experiences of British troops during the historic Battle of Waterloo. Fred, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Abbie. It's great to be here.
Fred, let's dive right in. What sparked your interest in writing a novel about the Battle of Waterloo?
Well, Abbie, as a history enthusiast, I've always been fascinated by this pivotal historical moment. The Battle of Waterloo was not just a turning point for the British, but it also had broader implications for European history. And being a lover of historical fiction, I wanted to bring that history to life through the eyes of the soldiers who experienced it.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. Now, let's get into the details. Can you tell us about the significant location of the battle and its impact on the outcome?
Certainly, Abbie. The Battle of Waterloo took place near the town of Waterloo in present-day Belgium. The terrain played a crucial role in the outcome of the battle. The British held the high ground, which provided them with a strategic advantage. This vantage point allowed them to repel French attacks and eventually secure victory.
It's incredible how geography can shape the course of history. Now, I would love to hear more about the two farms that played such a significant role in the battle.
Absolutely. The farms of Hougoumont and La Haye-Sainte were key points of contention during the battle. Both sides recognized their strategic importance as strong defensive positions. French attempts to capture Hougoumont were repeatedly repelled by the British, leading to heavy casualties. The heroic defense of La Haye-Sainte by the King's German Legion greatly aided the British Army in securing their victory.
It's fascinating to hear about these lesser-known details of such a monumental battle. Now, I can't help but wonder about the weather conditions and how they impacted the battle.
Weather indeed played a significant role, Abbie. It rained heavily the night before the battle, which turned the ground into mud, making it difficult for troops to maneuver. This slowed down the French advance and gave the British an advantage. However, as the day progressed, the rain stopped, and the battlefield turned into a quagmire, making it harder for troops on both sides to move swiftly.
Wow, the weather definitely had an unexpected impact on the outcome. Now, let's talk about the lay of the land and its influence on battle strategies.
The battlefield at Waterloo was characterized by its undulating terrain, which posed challenges for commanders on both sides. The ridges and valleys affected the visibility and line of sight, making it harder to coordinate maneuvers. Both Wellington and Napoleon had to adapt their strategies accordingly, taking into account the lay of the land.
It's amazing how every little detail can shape the course of such a significant event in history. Now, before we conclude our interview, I have a little surprise for our listeners. To really bring the emotional impact of war to life, we have a dramatic reading of a heartfelt letter from a rifleman of the 95th Rifles to his family back home. Let's listen in.
Of course, Abbie. Here is a letter I found while carrying out research for the book. It's from Rifleman Steve Copper, a chosen man from the 95th Rifles. My dearest mother, I seize upon this opportunity to pen a letter to you amidst the tumultuous terrors of this bloody event known as the Battle of Waterloo. Oh, how my heart aches and yearns for the gentle comforts of home amidst this dismal and perilous storm. The vivid horrors that surround me seem insurmountable at times, and yet, I find solace in the camaraderie and unwavering bravery of my fellow soldiers. As a humble rifleman and chosen man in the illustrious 95th Rifles, I have witnessed sights that defy the imagination. The thunderous cannon fire rattles the very core of my being, drowning out any semblance of peace or tranquility that may linger in this wretched place. The relentless pounding of musket fire, accompanied by the piercing cries of men in agony, echoes through the air as though the very earth is bellowing its sorrow. The smells, oh mother, the smells are nothing short of an affront to the senses. The metallic tang of fresh blood intermingles with the acrid stench of gunpowder, creating an olfactory assault that defies description. The sweat of my comrades mixes with the damp earth, leaving an indelible mark upon my memory. The pungent smoke, thick and suffocating, obscures vision and renders navigation treacherous, adding yet another layer of chaos to this infernal battlefield. Amidst this chaos, I cannot help but marvel at the unwavering bravery that radiates from every soldier. They are a band of brothers, bonds forged in the crucible of war, our lives interwoven like threads in a tapestry of sacrifice. Each step forward is a testament to the indomitable spirit of our cause, a testament to the resolute courage that beats within our hearts. The officers, with their gallantry and unwavering resolve, lead us forward into the fray, confident that victory shall be secured, though the cost may be dear. Yet, as I reflect upon the horrors unfolding before me, I find myself consumed by thoughts of home, the quaint cottage nestled amidst the rolling hills and babbling brooks. I long to once again feel the tender embrace of those I hold dear, to hear the gentle lilt of your voice, Mother, as you regale me with stories of a simpler time. The thought of returning to the comforting warmth of the hearth is what keeps my spirit alight in the darkest of hours. I fear for my own mortality, Mother, for each passing day brings with it a greater awareness of the fragility of life. I pray that I may be spared from the cruel fingers of fate and return to you, whole in body and spirit. And yet, if it is not to be so, know that I shall face my destiny with courage and unwavering resolve, for it is the duty I have accepted and the price I am willing to pay for the freedoms we hold dear. In this letter, I implore you, dear Mother, to hold our family close, to let them know of my love and devotion. Convey to them the essence of this war, the horrors and the triumphs, the unwavering spirit that beats within the hearts of each soldier. Let them know that their prayers and unwavering support are the arms that bolster my resolve and bring me solace in the darkest of times. I must conclude this missive now, as the battle calls once more and duty beckons. Please know that amidst the horrors that surround me, my thoughts always return home to you, Mother. May God watch over us all, and may our reunion be swift and joyous. Forever, your devoted son, Steve Copper.
Thank you for sharing that powerful letter with us, Fred. It truly gives us a glimpse into the heartache and sacrifices of those who fought at Waterloo.
Thank you, Abbie. It's important to remember the human side of war, and these letters provide us with a poignant reminder.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, could you give our listeners an overview of the countries and regiments involved in the battle?
Of course. The Battle of Waterloo saw the forces of the Duke of Wellington from Britain and her allies, including the Netherlands, Prussia, and Hanover, fighting against Napoleon's French army. Regiments from different countries fought side by side, unified by a common goal.
Thank you, Fred, for taking us on this incredible journey through the pages of history. Before we go, could you let our listeners know where they can find your novel Waterloo?
Certainly, Abbie. Waterloo is available in all major bookstores and online platforms.
Fantastic! I'm sure our listeners will be eager to get their hands on a copy. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Books Central Inside the Pages. Thank you, Fred, for being our guest today and shedding light on the Battle of Waterloo.
Thank you, Abbie, for having me. It has been a pleasure.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to join us next time for another captivating episode of Inside the Pages. Until then, happy reading!